Good morning and welcome back to the Ram Report Morning Show. I'm your host, Lara Pavlovic, as always bringing you the Hightstown Scoop. Before we continue with other news, we'd like to present a special tribute to Mr. Peto, made by Ram Report veteran Spencer Cohen.
Good morning, Rams. As most of us know by now, our athletic director, Mr. Peto, passed away last week at the age of 42. On behalf of all current and former Hightstown students, it is truly hard to put into words the impact that Mr. Peto had on the culture here at HHS. Not only was he a dedicated and persevering athletic director, but he was an amazing friend, mentor, brother, and father. Across Mercer County, Mr. Peto was well liked, often being described as the kind of boss everyone hoped they would have. After taking the AD job in 2015, he worked tirelessly, scheduling games and practices, as well as making many changes to the program to ensure that our teams were successful. Mr. Peto was strict, known for riding around in his famous blue golf cart, keeping a close eye on the controlled chaos happening around the school. However, everything he did was to make Hightstown an inclusive and inviting place to play for each and every person. He truly cared about the community and every student at Hightstown. On a personal level, I was very often in contact with Mr. Peto, whether for sports, broadcasting, or just to talk. He was always very supportive of me and made me the best leader I could possibly be. I know I have many positive experiences with Mr. Peto, but I also know that anybody who has been through Hightstown athletics all share similar stories.
And also our baseball coach. Immediately I realized that the most important thing in Mr. Peto's teaching career was making an impact on his students. There was not a day that went by that he did not give his heart and soul to his students and his athletes. Once I got to know Mr. Peto a little bit better, there was an important other aspect of Mr. Peto that I learned about, and that was his family. He cared more for his wife, Amanda, and his two children, Chase and Lily, than anybody else I've ever met. He went above and beyond to make sure that they were always part of his athletic and teaching career. I want everybody to keep Lily, Chase, and Amanda in your thoughts and prayers. As we transition to the next phase of Hightstown High School, there will not be a day will go by where I won't think about what Mr. Peto has left behind. There were so many times Mr. Peto and I sat in my office and we talked about our vision of what Hightstown High School athletics, PE, and health would look like. We dreamed big. We dreamed of a field house. We dreamed of new tennis courts. We dreamed of a new locker room for our athletes, a team room. We dreamed about redoing our gym. We dreamed about redoing our PE health locker room. We looked at upgrading our athletic fields, our uniforms, our weightlifting equipment. So many of those things have come true. I think the one thing I'll say about Mr. Peto, and the one thing I'll always say, keep in the focus in my mind, is I don't want to lose what he offered us. I don't want to lose the energy that he brought every day to our school.
Jim Peto was a true example of what it meant to be a Hightstown Ram. He worked endless hours to make sure we could have a safe and productive winter season. Jim cared deeply about Hightstown High School athletics and our physical education department. Our thoughts and prayers are with Jim's family, friends, and those who grieve his loss for such a wonderful man.
Something very admirable about Mr. Peto was how he always put these student athletes first. Especially noticeable this year with COVID-19 in the fall and winter seasons. I wasn't sure I was going to have a football season. I know a lot of athletes that didn't think they're going to play this year, but Mr. Peto worked really hard to make sure we could play, and a lot of our teams had success because of him.
I think one last thing I'll leave with everybody today is please do your part to keep his legacy alive. I love that our athletes are having the hashtag play for Peto. I like that our athletes want to leave mementos behind. I can guarantee you this. We are going to continue to honor his legacy and make sure that no one forgets Mr. Peto, what he's meant to us. As always, be safe, Rams.
Mr. Peto's passing has left a void in Hightstown and Mercer County athletics and has led to an outpouring amount of support from this community. If you are able to, there is a GoFundMe in the description, and donations are greatly appreciated. For the Ram Report, I'm Spencer Cohen.
Thank you, Spencer. Mr. Peto and his legacy here at Hightstown will certainly be remembered forever. This week, the boys basketball team was able to start the season off with a victory against Lawrence. Here's Matthew Salter with a story.
On Tuesday, the Hightstown High School boys basketball team had the season opener on their home court. With the new season came a new system, the Grinnell system, a fast-paced system where substitutions are 5 in and 5 out every 2 minutes. Scoring is fast, and you double the ball on defense. They faced a very solid Lawrence team led by Gabriel Mitchell-White and Soren Nihus. Our Hightstown boys came to play, though, and walked away with a dominant 63-50 win over the Cardinals. The Rams had big performances by Keenan Reese and Aiden Hogan, leading them on the path to victory.
Yesterday's game felt really good to get back and start playing with my team again. Since after the break we had from the virus that happened, and yesterday's game was for Peto since he passed away recently, and we all just pushed ourselves in order to get to this point and play for him since he put all of this for us.
Later today, at 4:15, our Rams take on Ewing at home, looking to move to 2-0. Don't forget, all the games are available for free viewing on the NFHS network. You can find a link in the Rams Athletics bio on Instagram. I'm Matthew Salter with the Ram Report. Back to you.
Thank you, Matthew, and good luck to our basketball team tonight against Ewing. Tonight, the Drama Club has prepared a special performance that you can watch from the comfort of your own home. Here's Parker Bennick with more on the story.
Tonight, the school performance of Eating Rhode Island will be premiering on livestream. Starring HHS lead actors Maddie Strickland, Jake Pandina, and Carly Teitelbaum, the play's story deals with many political themes, with the tiny state of Rhode Island being portrayed as an unlikely utopia. Of course, this performance is unique from other HHS dramas because it's the first to be pre-recorded and subsequently live-streamed. We spoke to the people involved about how they are able to adapt to and overcome these new COVID-19 related circumstances.
Thanks for giving me the opportunity to speak about how this show was able to come together. Honestly, it was so complicated because of quarantine and COVID. Everything was done virtually. We had to, of course, rehearse over Zoom. We had to rehearse over Google Meet. Everyone was really good with that. So I can't say enough about the cast and their dedication. So it was fabulous. And of course, students filmed themselves at home too. So that was really good. I cannot be more pleased. It's different than trying to do something on stage, but this movie version of it, if it weren't for Mr. Kuntz, it definitely would not look nearly as polished and as good. So I thank him for that, and I'm excited for everyone to see it.
I think the biggest challenge we had to overcome was learning how to act and perform in front of a camera, since we learned very quickly that performing in front of a camera is very different than performing on stage. So that was really interesting to learn, and I thought it was kind of fun. Overall, I think we did overcome these challenges, but it was definitely a neat journey for us.
We're certainly glad to see our talented HHS actors work together in spite of the situation. If you're interested in seeing the play, head over to the district website and look for the Eating Rhode Island poster for more details. We're all looking forward to what would certainly be an excellent show. I'm Parker Bennick with the Ram Report. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Parker. We're all looking forward to seeing the show tonight. The highly anticipated UFC fight happened last Saturday, and it had an interesting outcome. Here's Lara Patel with more on the story.
One of the biggest MMA fights took place this past weekend on January 23rd. Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier. Most of the people had their bets on Conor McGregor being the big dog and having the title of lightweight and featherweight championship. But the people who placed their bet on Dustin Poirier made a lot of profit because the odds were positive 205. A Poirier right hook dropped a dazed McGregor, and Poirier connected with two more unanswered shots before referee Herb Dean stopped the action at 2:32 mark to give Poirier a win by knockout. While Dustin Poirier being the underdog in this fight is definitely shocked most viewers, and it was a hard pill to swallow that Conor McGregor lost. Let's ask some students about their thoughts on this fight and who they expected to win and what their reaction was after the TKO.
Yeah, so I honestly had McGregor winning for that fight. I did not think Poirier had it in him. But he KO'd him in the second round. I didn't expect it, but it happened. Poirier's a bigger guy, obviously a better fighter. So I definitely think he's a champion contender, can definitely fight with the big guys. I would definitely like to see that happen. Still didn't expect it out of McGregor. He can't fight with these guys anymore. He needs to just retire.
I'm Tilak Patel from Ram Report. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Tilak. Let's see if we'll watch another match between these two superstars. It's time for week 2 of our Ram Report Pizza Pursuit. This week, we're checking out Scotto's. Here's Josh Carmona with a review.
Welcome to week 2 of our Ram Report Pizza Pursuit. This week, we're checking out Scotto's. They're a joint located in the heart of the Twin Rivers Shopping Center, and they offer a pleasant Italian dining experience at reasonable prices. They're a local treat and a favorite of many here at Hightstown High School. But I'm here to put that status to the test. Before we check out what kind of magic that Scotto the Pizza Wizard has whipped up, let's review our rating criteria. The pizza is scored out of 5 points based on the structure, the cheese-sauce ratio, the crust, the presentation, and the flavor. Now, I haven't had Scotto's in a long time, so I'm prepared to deliver an unbiased review, answering the important question, does the pizza pack a punch, or does it fall flat? Let's go check it out.
Let's talk pizza. Alright, first things first. If we take a look at the presentation here, I think we can all agree this is a good looking pizza. Alright, let's start with the structure. This is kind of complicated because it's a matter of preference, but this isn't the most rigid pizza out there. This pizza needs a little bit of support, and that's okay. It's not detrimental, but it is noticeable. This one is going to be controversial. The cheese to sauce ratio. You cheeseheads won't be very happy by this. The cheese and sauce are very balanced. You've got the same amount of cheese as you've got sauce. You've got a pretty balanced meal going on there. And those of you who love cheese and want more cheese than sauce, you won't be getting that. It's not a cheese overload. It's not a cheese tsunami. It's not a big cheesy mess. It's a balanced tomato-y pie. It's not on the super tomato end, but it's more in the middle than you might want it to be. That's a matter of taste as well. It's not too crunchy, it's not too soft, it's right in the middle, it's perfect. It's a great crust, we love it. I thoroughly enjoyed the crust. As I've already gone over, the presentation, it's a good looking slice. It's not wet, it's not greasy, it's just right how you want it. It's great. The flavor, this surprised me. I'm a cheesehead, and I thought, man, this isn't that cheesy. This is pretty balanced, right? Like I said. But this slice, it surprised me. I loved it. This was great tasting pizza. It was rich. It was thoughtful. It made me think. It made me believe in something. It was a strong pizza. It was a subtle pizza too. Lots of details. It was great. So, ultimately, I feel like this pizza from Scotto's deserves... I'm going to give it a 4.5. Because as much as I enjoyed it, I think some people will be turned off by the cheese to sauce ratio again. I think that's a matter of contention. But this is still amazing pizza, and I think it's worth checking out.
Thanks, Josh. Make sure you come back next week for another review. Well, there's another episode in the books. Thanks for tuning in for more Hightstown news. Stay safe, have a good weekend, and as always, have a Ramtastic day.